Hello and welcome to my presentation based around my final project game. I am student number 2216201, named JSen and I am in my final year at university. And this is the main menu screen for my game. My main game is called Facility B, which will be explained later because it's the whole theme of the game pretty much and the environment that the game's based around. So I'm going to discuss in this commentary video the different elements in my game and why I added them into my game. So the creative decisions. So first of all, I'm going to go into my settings menu and show you what I've created here. So I've made a menu within the game so the player can choose from the graphics depending on what the can run, and as well as the resolution they can alter that as well depending on whether they want to go with a smaller window rather than a bigger ratio aspect. And the window mode converts the full screen game into a windowed screen if they didn't want it to cover up the entirety of the display monitor. So the exit button does what it says. When the button is clicked, the player will exit the game and they will return to their desktop. So as well as that, there's a little copyright thing at the bottom corner which basically just states that I created the game and the year I created it in, which is this year. So the main background of the main menu screen is a sketch I did. I did debate making it onto a digital piece of artwork more developed, but I thought that the sketch format for this background suited the theming because it looks a bit more abstract, kind of. It sort of gives a little mystery vibe off to the game, and it sort of looks a little what's the word? Uncanny. Sort of like it's just staring into your soul, and it looks like a drawing that could be found within the actual game itself. And within the background is a piece of music I've composed myself. It's the main menu theme for the entirety of the game. It's the theme of the character you're playing as, which I will discuss later as well while I discuss my creative processes. But yeah, I will stay quiet for a little bit so you can listen to some of the background music. Right, now I am back and I'm going to click the start quest button because let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, we're playing on the low quality because that runs the fastest, and there's this opening cutscene cinematic of being trapped in a prison sort of room, like a containment chamber cell, and the decision I made with this was to have dialogue boxes instead of verbal dialogue because it makes the game, in my opinion, it just makes it a lot more appealing, because rather than have like some mindless verbal dialogue, the player can actually just look at the screen and read the dialogue and close the display of that dialogue whenever they read it, which is obviously done by pressing the G key. And once the player collects that little object in the corner of the room, they can open the door to escape it. But they need to watch out because the guard will be alerted and it will start chasing you. So you have to get past this door in time for it to close behind you and trap the guard there. And yeah, another dialogue box just showing the player that the player character is aware of what's going on in the environment, and it tells you, or gives you a subtle hint that you may need to find an object or multiple objects within the game to help you progress. Like that there, the piece of paper 1-1, which is a number which would definitely help with what the player has to do within the game, or in this case, what I have to do in the level. So, there's another guard there. So, what you have to do initially is you have to go around the building looking for assets which may be of use. Like there's another one there. 3030. So let's go back down this corridor. This is why you have to check almost every little detail in the building, because you may just miss something which will help you. So let's go to the next one, because I know where these pieces of paper are. So let's go to where this next piece of paper is. There it is. So if we go there to see 20, and these textures that I've made them pretty much myself from scratch. I meant the textures like in the hallways, like the hazard strips and the metal thing. I've pieced them together in Photoshop. Oh no, I've come back down here. Okay. Oh, and there's one thing I will mention right now while I'm going down this hallway is the widgets at the top and bottom. The top widget is for health and the bottom widget is for stamina. Let's just avoid this guard. Don't want to encounter him yet. Let me just look around here. Is there anything there? No? No? Okay. I want to look, but I think I will go down here first in case I find something, because there are instances where I remember where I put some of them, but as I put more in I tend to forget where I've put some of them. Yeah, see, here it is. 4-1. 4-1. Okay, so press O for numpad, because on each floor is a door that requires some sort of password, what the dialogue says on the screen right now. So if you go into that, you can enter the code, so 1001, because the first paper we found was 1-1. The first number stands for what the first digit in the password is, and the second number stands for what number it is in the password. So if it's 1-1, the first digit would be 1. If it's 20, the second digit would be 0. So the player would have to pay attention to that in order to progress through the game. Let's just go down here again. Because we've unlocked that door, but the objects within that room... Let me just go in here. Let me have a look in here, see if I can find anything else. That room has an object which is very important, and you pretty much need that in order to escape the building at the end. So you need to remember where that room is, and you need to remember what's in the room. But you will be reminded of that, or not so much reminded, but hinted at that object later on in the game. So this is an elevator I created, and it takes you up to the next floor of the level. And there's the password door, the second floor password door. So you need to find pieces of paper with the numbers on in this floor as well. So let's have a look around here then. There's not one in that prison cell. There's not one behind that chair and table. So, oh, there's one. There's one. Let's see, 1 1 again. It's 1. The first digit for the password door is 1 then. Oh, and I modelled these tables and chairs myself as well using the blender. Using blend, and the wolf character that started chasing me on the first floor. 4 5. So the fourth digit on this password is 5. Nice. Oh, there's the next elevator to go to the next floor, but we don't want to be doing that at the moment. Oh, there's another one. 2 2. So the second digit is 2. So it'd be 1 2 something 5, and this is a trial room. So if you take the wrong potion, you die pretty much. But if you take the right one, it's mandatory to open the inventory system, which may be missed by the player, but I am here to go through that when I come to it. Oh, the third digit's 8, so it's 1. You'll just see when I type it in the thing, in the password thing. But let's discuss this now. So if this is the good potion, so I picked it up and I'm going to open the inventory system, and you can see there's a little box thing with text. You click on it and it pulls up a piece of paper that you've collected, and it tells you about this object. The portal gun is known to only affect certain walls within the facility, and that is important information. But if the player takes the wrong potion, the health slowly starts to decrease and a heartbeat sound starts to play to alert the player, which is kind of nerve-wracking. But then the player has to go through the game again to get restarted back in the room. So let me just type in the password, 1285. And what's in this room? Let's have a look around. Ah, another door unlocked. I wonder what lies in this one. Oh, I wonder. So let's have a look. Ah, look, it's a piece of paper documenting. This piece of paper is documenting the player character, so this is information about you. Just to put that out there. So that's some lore, story, backstory on your character and why you're sort of trapped in this facility. So let's go to the next floor. Oh, maybe. Yeah, no, let's go to the first floor. Let's go to the first floor and get that object, the portal gun. Let's go to the portal gun. Oh, and the lights were made by me on Blender as well. The light models. Oh no, I'm not going down there again. No. Okay. Let's narrowly avoid this character again as well. And there it is, the portal gun in all its glory. Ah, yeah. And it specifies that the portal gun can only be used on certain walls. So I'm going to demonstrate. If you shoot it on these walls aren't relevant to use it on, so the portals just appear black, which means you can't really see the other side of the portal. So if one jumps through a void portal, they practically end up nowhere, or something even worse happens. So you don't want to be jumping through a portal like that. Oh, okay, go. Oh gosh. He hadn't followed me. He lost me. But you don't want to be jumping through one of them void portals. So let's go to the 3rd floor of the level. And this design choice, I was hesitant on making it to begin with because of the hardship that this might have caused, because this is like 3 different floors on the same map, so 3 levels on one map. And from the beginning I did design it this way, and I have a concept artwork drawing on the maps, on the levels, and I knew how hard this might have been, but I stuck through with it, and the map layouts are exactly how I wanted them off the concept art, so that is a pretty good development move for me. Oh god, the AI are so bad on this one, like more active, more aggressive, because this is the last floor, and once you've got everything from the other floors, this last floor is like the ultimate challenge. Oh, 3-1. 3-1. Oh no, I'm stuck. Get away. 3. See how I'm on a bit more aggressive? Yeah. Okay. Game over. This is the game over that appears when you obviously die. So yeah, let's get back into the game. And we get to this point of the recording where I apologise, because I went to record the little last section of the game and the storage unit completely failed, so basically I lost that section of the recording. But luckily I have screenshot evidence of the end of the game and the different stages it takes to get there. So on this recording, on this video, you will still get to see what happens at the end of the game and the different steps it takes in which to get to that level. So here we go. Let's display the screenshots. Okay, so this first screenshot displays the door after you collect every single piece of paper on the last final floor and get all the numbers. And once you enter all the correct numbers into the pin code combination lock, then the door will open and it will take you into this next room. This next room is the final challenge for the game, and it's basically the floor is covered in quicksand, and if the player falls into the quicksand, the health starts to decline and then they die eventually. So that is why the portal gun on the first floor and retrieving it is a key mechanic in the game, because you have to create a portal on the other side of the room and on the side that you're standing in order to actually get across, and that is how you beat that obstacle of the game. And in order to create these 2 separate portals, the player must use the left and right mouse button keys, and depending on which one they select, the portal will appear on either side. Once the player reaches the other side, they will be greeted with the final doorway, which is a light source, which indicates that the player must only go through that location in order to finally reach the outside world. And once they go through that location, they're greeted with the end cutscene, which is basically the player character stumbling out the doorway of the facility, looking around the whereabouts of the environment of the outside world. Then the player character looks back at the facility, then looks in front of them again towards the pathway which is leading them to freedom, and as they walk forward into freedom, the little cutscene ends and the player is taken back to the main menu. And that is the complete game of Facility B. And I hope this video has informed you well of the many mechanics and the different features in which I have intended to include within the project. Take care, and thank you for watching.